फास्टेस्ट क्रिकेट स्कोर अपडेट्स या सबसे डिटेल्ड स्टैट्स,
क्रिकेट के अंदर बाहर की खबरें
या हेल्दी डिबेट्स,
सबसे एक्यूरेट एनालिसिस
या फैंस का क्रेज, सबके लिए एक ही प्लेटफॉर्म, क्योंकि क्रिकेट मतलब क्रिकेट नेक्स्ट।
Hello everyone, you're watching Cricket Next. I am Saramya Kaushik. It's time to switch to the Super 8 mode because India will face Afghanistan in the very first match in the Super 8 stage. Now, Team India, they are hitting the nets and they're preparing well for the clash against Afghanistan, because if we talk about the pitches in the Caribbean, then they'll be spinner friendly, and we all know how Afghanistan spinners performed in the group stage. So it's going to be really tempting to watch Afghanistan and India in the Super 8 clash. But what's trending right now is Virat Kohli's celebration. Virat Kohli celebrated a six of Bumrah, and why all such celebrations are happening? Let's hear it out from Jamie Alter and Taus Rizvi. They'll be able to tell you better why everyone's celebrating, hitting Jasprit Bumrah for runs. Now, Jamie, in 65 T20 Is, Jasprit Bumrah has conceded only 33 maximums, and he has been hit for a maximum only once in this T20 World Cup. How big of that a record is for Jasprit Bumrah? And do you think Virat Kohli celebrated that six and it was much needed?
Look, that's a good stat you've started the show on. I mean, look, we all have our own personal individual memory जब हम जसप्रीत बुमराह के नाम सुनते हैं. I don't think हमें किसी को याद है कि उनकी bowling पे छक्का कब लगा होगा. लगे होंगे. Obviously, you mentioned that there's 33 odd, something like that, which is still a remarkable number. But this is a fantastic once in a generation bowler. But अगर मुझे such answer देना हो, Virat Kohli's celebration was probably because he's not done a blooming thing in New York. So he's just 6 runs is more than half the runs he just scored. So I think his celebration was not about hitting Bumrah, just the fact that bhai off the mark to ho gaya. And I think that's, jokes aside, that's a very good sign, because if there was one batsman which totally flopped in New York across every teams, it was Virat Kohli, because it's Virat Kohli we're talking about, I mean, Shivam Dube got 31 there. Surkumar Yadav got 51 there. South Africans got runs there. Virat Kohli got 9 runs in 3 innings. If there's one batsman who deserves to, celebrate and whoop and yell after nailing one, I think it's Virat Kohli. और मेरा ये मानना है कि अब वेस्ट इंडीज के कंडीशन में इस बंदे का बल्ला अब बहुत बोलेगा, because he is so frustrated at not scoring runs. Very tough track, but the point is no one struggled from all those 6-7 matches. Nobody had it worse than the best batsman of this era. So I'm glad he was able to have a brief moment of fun. We saw the training things, all these guys with their shirts off playing volleyball. They met the great Sir West, all fantastic. लेकिन मैं कहता हूँ ये सब कैमरास के लिए, देश को चाहिए कि भाई विराट कोहली का बल्ला बोले. And gut feeling says कल अफगानिस्तान के सामने भारी पड़ेगा विराट कोहली.
I really hope so, Jamie, because in the 3 matches where Virat Kohli played in this T20 World Cup, he was able to put up just 5 runs in his bank. So everyone's waiting for him to score well against Afghanistan. But Afghanistan over there, Taos, they have really great spinners. And if we talk about Barbados, everybody knows, the pitches are slow and it will help these spinners. And Afghanistan, I think if we have to pick one team in this entire tournament, then it has to be Afghanistan, the ones who have the finest of spinners. So they have variety of spinners, but also the finest of them. So in that kind of a situation, what should be India's 11, and how important will it be for Virat Kohli to score runs against Afghan spinners?
Yeah, there will be changes. Definitely, there will be changes. It won't be the same that you saw in United States of America. There will be spinners included, but I don't think so there will be any change when it comes to batting lineup. They are going to go with the same, and Virat Kohli will be as hungry as he was in United States. Unfortunately, he couldn't get those runs on seeming conditions where the wicket was very difficult, obviously, and also the outfield. One of the main reasons why he couldn't, because he's kind of a player who enjoys batting when the wicket is good, if the ball is coming onto the bat, and especially when the outfield is also good. So it helps a lot. I mean, it's not just Virat Kohli who didn't perform. Every other batsman except who's the Surya. If that catch was not dropped, he wouldn't have scored that half century. So yeah, things happen for good, and obviously you were supposed to qualify. Things are made for us, and we were stronger side. We were more experienced. The reasons behind that we have made it to the Super 8s, and now that we are back in West Indies and we know the conditions. Virat Kohli know the conditions. Virat is hungry. The best part is, yeah, Virat, there are question marks, and Virat is somebody who, who gets exploded when there are question marks, when people start questioning him. So that is the a thing with Virat Kohli. When once he takes that guard, he's going to go at the Afghanistan bowlers, and I mean it's going to be a great contest again. Again, it keeps coming back. Leg spinners, leg spinners. Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma, these guys have been like how left arm they struggle against left arm spinners, left arm pacers who bring the ball back in. That will be another challenge. So Afghanistan with their potent very threatening spinning outfit with great spinners in their lineup. You have Virat Kohli's and the Rohit Sharma's gearing up, and that six definitely. I mean, coming from a batsman who's been in very very poor form, a legend who's been in poor form, coming out,
Yeah.
going with that six against Bumrah, it's definitely a morale booster. So that is kind of a statement that he's giving to the other guys out there, the Australians, the Afghanis, and the Bangladeshis that we are going to play in the Super 8. So that is kind of a message that, okay, guys, you saw me that I was struggling there. Now I'm back at my best. West Indies, where I've scored runs, where I know the condition how they're going to be. They are almost like Indian conditions. Wickets are slow. Will be still better than what you saw in America. But over the period of time, I mean, the game is tomorrow, so he's like, I think this is going to be a very very special game for him. But overall, I mean, he has to win this game. See, again, it's not that Virat Kohli comes and scores 50 and then goes back. Shouldn't be like that. He should go and win that game बिकॉज यहाँ पर सवाल उठ रहे हैं, तो सवाल सिर्फ आपके नंबर्स के लिए नहीं उठ रहा, आपके मैच विनिंग आपको लिया गया है जिसके लिए आप वो उठ रहे हैं, तो आपको उसी हिसाब से जवाब देना पड़ेगा. सिर्फ 50 करके अपना स्कोर करके नहीं जाना है. यू हैव टू गेट रन्स एंड यू हैव टू गेट मैच विनिंग रन्स. अदरवाइज सवाल उठते रहेंगे और उठते ही रहेंगे.
वेल अगर परफॉर्मेंसेस नहीं आएंगी तो सवाल उठना जायज़ भी है ताउस, क्योंकि आप इतने बड़े प्लेयर हैं, आप इतने बड़े टूर्नामेंट में आए हैं. वो टूर्नामेंट जिस पर थोड़े महीने पहले तक चर्चा हो रही थी कि यंगस्टर्स को आना चाहिए. सो नाउ रोहित एंड विराट कोहली आर देयर इन द 11, तो उनका बनता भी है परफॉर्म करना. बट जेमी, गोइंग बैक टू द डिस्कशन ऑफ पिचेस एंड हाउ द मैचेस विल बी प्लेड इन द कैरिबियन आइलैंड्स, I want to know that, I came across a report where it was mentioned that the CPL data, Caribbean Premier League data, suggests that the faster you bowl spin, the more purchase you will get in all these pitches. How do you compare, given this data, how do you compare the Indian spinners and Afghanistan spinners, and which set of spinners will get more purchase? Because it suggests the more faster or the more fast you bowl spin, it'll help you. So how do you see both the teams' spinners?
Look, I think, obviously we're talking about Rashid Khan. He's a legend. He's Afghanistan's most high-profile spinner. But uske baad, Mohammad Nabi is probably in his last major tournament. He's now 40 plus. Noor Ahmed is young but inexperienced. So man to man, I'll always put India spinners. And we just saw. Look, Afghanistan. Look, nobody should be surprised कि ये team Super 8 तक पहुंच चुकी है. But again, we saw that when you start to attack them, they have no answer. West Indies just smashed 210 against them. No, Rashid ने मार खाया, नूर ने मार खाया. बस वही घुमा फिरा के उसी cliched word पे आता है intent. If India, look at India number 1 to 7. अगर ये लोग ऐसे intent से खेलेंगे, मैं ये नहीं कह रहा हूँ कि आप we don't have a Nicholas Pooran. Nicholas Pooran is a very special player. There's a reason why Nicholas Pooran is West Indies' leading run getter in T20s, having gone past Chris Gayle. The reason he's got 128 sixes to Gale's 120. हमारे पास कोई पूरन नहीं है, right? हमारे पास world class batsman. अगर ये world class batsman चढ़ जाए ना राशिद पे, Afghanistan could again concede 210 very easily. But it comes down to intent. Unfortunately, Virat Kohli is coming off a terrible run. Dubey looked very unconvincing. Sky looked very unconvincing. पंत को छोड़ के, right? उसी पंत को लेकर जो लोग कह रहे हैं यार इसको वर्ल्ड कप नहीं जाना चाहिए. That guy emerged with the best strike rate, best average. But is he suddenly going to do Nicholas Pooran things? नहीं. तो I'm not talking about this match. I'm not. Toss rightfully mentioned. उसके आगे ऑस्ट्रेलिया है, उसके आगे बांग्लादेश है. अगर इस टीम को एक्चुअली ये ट्रॉफी जीतना है, इनको वेस्ट इंडीज की जैसे खेलना पड़ेगा, राइट? निकोलस पूरन 3 पे नहीं आता है, नॉर्मली 4 पे आता है। कल उस बंदे को 3 पे भेजा और इनिंग्स के चौथी ओवर में उसने 36 रन दिया आपके सामने। रिस्की अप्रोच, राइट? उसमें नो बॉल था, लेकिन भाई आपको T20 वर्ल्ड कप जीतने के लिए आपको वो जिगरा दिखाना पड़ेगा। सो आई डोंट केयर वेदर इट्स द बेस्ट स्पिनर गोइंग अराउंड, एडम जैम्पा कमिंग अप, आई डोंट केयर वेदर इट्स शाकिब एंड दैट लेग स्पिनर दे फाउंड, कोई भी हो, कल राशिद है, परसों, आपको स्पिनर्स पे चढ़ना पड़ेगा। एंड यू डिडंट गेट द चांस, लाइक टॉस मेंशन, क्योंकि न्यूयॉर्क वाज अ सीमर्स wicket. You're going to have to first of all find a way to get Jadeja. Matlab Jadeja not taken a wicket, not scored a run, right? This is a problem. Thank you, Jaddu. मैं कहता हूँ कुलदीप को अंदर खिलाओ. Forget fast. I don't care. Kuldeep is not very quick, but he's the only wrist spinner, left-arm wrist spinner in the tournament. Why is he still wearing a bib and carrying drinks? मुझे तो भाई इस सवाल का जवाब चाहिए, you know. So राशिद तो मैं कह रहा हूँ राशिद को ये लोग पेल देंगे, नूर को पेल देंगे, बट उसके आगे एक जैम्पा को मारना पड़ेगा, एगार को मारना पड़ेगा. द सक्सेस, it's very tough to hit Stark, it's very tough to hit Cummins, it's going to be tough to hit Mustafizur, it's going to be tough to hit that Stanzid जो आया है, कमाल का बॉलर है भाई वो, ठीक है. तो आपको स्पिनर्स पे भारी होना पड़ेगा. एंड आई होप that Virat, Rohit, Sky, Dubey, I hope Dubey plays, only because you picked him for a certain role. You didn't pick Dubey for Long Island track. You picked Dubey for West Indies. अब आपने उस बंदे पे persist किया है, बुरे हालात में उसको ड्रॉप किया है, उसको बैक किया है. He also got a life. Like Tosma said, he and Sky shouldn't have been there at the end. But the point is, they were there at the end against a team that had beaten Pakistan. शर्मनाक हार होती वो उस दिन जब विराट पहली बॉल पे आउट हुए, जब पंत का बल्ला नहीं चला, जब रोहित नहीं चला, कौन था खड़ा 50 और 31 पे? Sky and Dubey. Yes, they were dropped, but the point is they had the skill and the awareness to change. They played one day knocks. Strike rate 95 था, ठीक है. But point is, ये USA टीम थी जो ऑलरेडी उभर के आई थी. They won the match, but that approach is not going to work in West Indies. आपको चढ़ना पड़ेगा. And I believe कल राशिद मार खाएगा, नूर मार खाएगा, and that will set India on the right track for the semi-finals. रास्ता काफी आसान हो चुका है. I think Tosma, you'll also agree. रास्ता बहुत आसान हो चुका है कि पाकिस्तान यहाँ तक नहीं पहुंची, न्यूजीलैंड नहीं पहुंची, लंका नहीं पहुंची, लेकिन you still need to win 2 out of 3 by big margins. ऑस्ट्रेलिया को जीतना हराना मुश्किल है. अफगानिस्तान को ये लोग हराएंगे, बांग्लादेश को हराएंगे, and the key to that is smashing the spinners. I loved what Puran did. I missed the match. Like this morning, I watched the highlights. Yeah, if somebody in our Indian team can do 50% of what that guy did, semi-final क्या? Trophy अपना है.
और देखिए एक ही मैच लगा अफगानिस्तान के स्पिनर्स को एक रियलिटी चेक देने में, क्योंकि उससे पहले के 3 मैचेस अफगानिस्तान ने बहुत कंफर्टेबली जीते थे, स्पेशली दैट वन अगेंस्ट न्यूजीलैंड. So they had that confidence, but West Indies came in and they said, hello boss, we are also here to play and you really need to think about your plans once again. And now Afghanistan will be facing Team India. But that was Jamie ने भी बहुत अच्छे से explain किया what Team India batters need to do. Like I mentioned already, you know, what the CPL data suggests, and it just showcases that how, you know, spinners who have bowled faster have been more successful than the ones who have bowled slower. But we have a question for you. We have that question from SK Anand, and he's saying, isn't it the other way around? He's saying that the slower you bowl, the better grip the spinner gets on a surface. So he wants to know how spinners should bowl and how this data also will help these spinners, and how Indian spinners can get more purchase in Barbados.
No, absolutely. I agree with SK Anand bhai ki bhai, the slower you bowl, the difficult it is for you for a batter to hit in T20 cricket, especially because you are on an aggressive mode. क्योंकि आपको एक के बाद एक hits मारने रहते हैं and you have no time to go out there. Different takes your time, set your eyes in, and then there is not much time. So I would go for a leg spinner and a Kuldeep Yadav. I would drop one extra pacer because you already have a Hardik Pandya in the squad. So that makes a great combination. So you have a Ravindra Jadeja, you have a variety different. You have Akshar Patel who's going to do both the jobs, batting as well as bowling. The best part here, and Yuzvendra Chahal, I mean, what Adam Zampa did, what Rashid Khan or maybe Noor Ahmed would be doing, this guy, Yuzi will be doing with Kuldeep Yadav. But how many overs they are going to get to bowl? they are going to. It will be a tough job for Rohit Sharma to decide where to get them in and where to leave them out. But you have three spinners, three pacers, one in Hardik Pandya who did well in West Indies again in America, and then you'll have Hardik Pandya doing bowling those cutters, which will help again. I mean, also fast bowlers if they are bowling those cutters, Jasprit Bumrah if they are bowling those cutters, that will help the pacer when you're talking about that. CPL is giving shows CPL stats shows that the more you bowl fast, the cutters, the spinners, the more it helps. But also the spinners. I mean, if they bowl with Jadeja will bowl with a flatter trajectory. Akshar will bowl. Kuldeep and these guys will get you, different kind of variety in the attack. Although I mean it's just 20 overs, but then you'll have to adjust somehow. The best part is India is an experienced side. I mean, compared to Afghanistan,
Yeah.
what you saw exactly the last three games that we have won in USA, it was all because of the experience that we have. I mean, somebody who failed in the top order, we had the people in the middle order to do it. What we couldn't do in the final of the T20 in the 2023 World Cup, we did in different stages in T20 World Cup in the first stage. So right now, I mean, except Australia, the other two challenges are not that difficult. Australia will have to put our A game up. For now, we have all the experience to win the game. We have all the weapons from fast bowling to spinners to batters who can do well, who can start off well, then the batters who can finish the game. So we have everything put except for a few. I mean, I wouldn't go back into a Rinku Singh and other kind of debate, but then whatever you have available, you have to do with it. And now that we have experience from, we have gained confidence from the last from the, playing winning those difficult games. Now we will be in a better position. While Australia have played in West Indies, and then they have been more comfortable. We have been through difficult times, so we will be more confident. We will be more eager, and we can win more. We will have more convincing wins this time, considering it's West Indies.
Yeah.
So overall, I agree with SK Anand bhai, but then we have cutter fast bowlers who will bowl cutters that will help get wickets, as well as Kuldeeps and the Charles who can do wonders like Zampars and the Tanzil and Mujibur Rahman and Noor Ahmed.
Okay, so I think I have a statistical data also to back what Taos is saying. Jamie, I was just reading a report while Taos was talking about how pacers can also get some assistance on this pitch. Of the 61 wickets fallen on this pitch, 40 have been taken by the pacers, which means that the finger spinners, along with pacers, which India currently have in their 11, will help a lot on this pitch. So, do you think that even if India don't make any changes in their 11, then also they'll form a good team against Afghanistan because they have pacers who can take wickets and they also have finger spinners?
See, look, like we discussed, and I'm very glad that Tosbhai brought up the option of dropping a pace bowler. We are looking now. US is finished. ठीक है, वो unknown territory था. वहाँ पे spinner की जरूरत नहीं थी. Akshar Patel was bowling 2 overs, but he was bowling 2 damn good overs, and Jaddu was not bowling 2 good overs. That's why he didn't get to bowl in one match, right? अभी जो 11 आप कल उतारोगे, मोटा मोटा वो 11 अभी आपको लगातार फाइनल तक खिलाना पड़ेगा, right? Because now, like Thomas said, ये A1, C1, ये फालतू का जो pre-tournament seeding है, it's going to get you in. Pakistan blew it. Pakistan was supposed to coast through, but Pakistan blew it, right? India didn't blow it. India played very good cricket. जब challenge आया सामने, तो उन्होंने 119 को 150 बनाया, right? Your pace bowlers have pretty much got you. Pace bowlers, Rishabh Pant in one match, Rohit got that 55 in one match, a very lucky 50, but it's been a fast bowlers tournament. अब आपको 16 over pace की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी West Indies में, right? Who's doing well now? Yes, I know the Fadlak Faruqi's got 12 wickets, but it's the wrist spinners, okay? I think वो Gurkesh Moti, if I'm not mistaken, he's also some wrist variety, okay? You need these. अब आपके पास 2 ऐसे bowler है, एक का नाम चहल है और एक का नाम कुलदीप है. I'm not saying you play Kulchai, right? But you don't need 4 pacers. And I'm going to strike this. I'm saying you don't need Jadeja and Akshar. You're going to have to take the call for variety. अगर अक्षर पटेल अच्छी बैटिंग कर रही है, भले ही 10% ज्यादा, अगर वो 10% ज्यादा भले अच्छे bowling कर रहे हैं जड्डू से, so take that tough call. Two finger spinners, excuse me, is not going to get you a World Cup title. It might get you a few matches. You have to find a way to drop a pacer. I think Mohammad Siraj, he has 1 wicket in 3 matches. he was decent, but
Yeah.
he didn't utilize those conditions. Arshdeep, man, brilliant, 7 wickets. Hardik Pandya, 7 wickets, brilliant. Bumrah, 2 Player of the Match awards, brilliant. अभी एक लाल सर्कल टीम मैनेजमेंट सिराज के नाम के ऊपर लगा सकती है, राइट? So I'm going to go back to what Tawaz said 5 minutes ago. Maybe we need to realize, Siraj, ये तुम्हारे लिए नहीं है. चार pacers, when Hardik is doing the job so well, you don't need. Now you need to find a way to rotate Chahal and Kuldeep, because yes, they're both wrist spinners, but they're so vastly different wrist spinners. Kuldeep is going to bring the ball in a certain way. Chahal is not going to bring the ball anywhere. But what that guy is going to do, he's going to slow it up. He's going to bring all the experience. Are the West Indies or Australia or are they capable of facing 8 overs of quality and different leg spin? Yes, but it's going to make tough. So India, Rahul Dravid, Rohit Sharma, इनके ऊपर सवाल ये कि what is the best bowling attack that can put pressure? क्योंकि अभी margin of error सुरम्या अब नहीं है. अब कोई यूएसए नहीं आएगा, आयरलैंड नहीं आएगा, कनाडा नहीं आएगा, फ्लोरिडा की बारिश नहीं आएगी. अब आएगी बॉस सबसे तगड़ी टीम ऑस्ट्रेलिया, सबसे ट्रिकी टीम Afghanistan or Bangladesh. Like I said, I expect them to thoroughly, easily beat those two, but to outfox Australia, you beat this Australia, you have set a क्या बोलते हो, you set up a marker कि अब ऐसा करना पड़ेगा. तो अब एक्सपेरिमेंटेशन के दिन गए, जो भी आपको एक्सपेरिमेंटेशन करना है आपको टॉस से पहले करना है. I hope that better sense prevails. Why have we not won World Cups for 11-12 years? Not because of lack of talent, it's because of this between the ears. I hope that when these guys when they get up tomorrow in the West Indies, I hope it's bright and sunny. क्योंकि जब बादल है ना, तो ये द्रविड़ और रोहित के ख्याल में भी बादल छा जाते हैं. They have to pick the most positive 11, and if that means something unfamiliar, by all means, boss, do it. I like what Tawaz said. वो चार पेसर की जरूरत नहीं है actually, क्योंकि you've literally jumped across an ocean, and in going across that ocean, your thoughts have also had to make a big jump. So back the spinners. It's going to be more high scoring than America was, but it's also going to be a game. I think in the end, it's going to be highlighted by the team that has the best wrist spinner, and I think Australia remain my favorites, followed by West Indies. इन दोनों के पास बहुत अच्छे स्पिनर, हमारे पास इतने बेहतरीन स्पिनर्स हैं जो अब तक sadly नहीं खेल पाए. Play them, and I don't know, I'm getting a very very good feeling about India, which I didn't have 2 weeks ago. ये World Cup हम लोग जीत सकते हैं if they find a way to play Kuldeep and Chahal. And you know me, I'm rarely positive about India when it comes to T20 cricket.
So what can be done in the 11th then, Taos? Do you think dropping Siraj will be a good option and bringing in Kuldeep Yadav or Chahal?
Absolutely. I mean, what is Siraj's job right now? I mean, whatever he was supposed to do, he couldn't do. He did well, but he should have taken wickets. But then Harshdeep and Jasprit did the trick, and Hardik Pandya definitely. So that's the way out. I mean, that's the way out. We know exactly what kind of conditions are going to be in West Indies. It's going to be slow. It's going to be turning. Turning भी नहीं होगा, मगर it won't help the batters. I mean, who like to enjoy playing on the rise and all. It's not going to be like how you do in India or maybe in Australia or English, where at least if there is no swing, you enjoy batting on those conditions. Here it's going to be a bit tough. यहाँ पर आपको बॉल के पास जाना होगा, यहाँ पर बॉल आपके पास नहीं आएगा. तो आपको बॉल के पास लाने के लिए that is the way you get wickets. Spinners get wickets. आपको खिलाते, आपको आउटफॉक्स करना होता है, आपको लूप देना पड़ता है. तो जब लूप में जब आप फ्रंट फुट पे खेलते हो तो आपको फ्रंट फुट पे ज्यादा जोर लगाना पड़ता है, ज्यादा एनर्जी चाहिए, ज्यादा पावर जनरेट करने के लिए. Unless you are a Shivam Dube who can who has those long strides and all, can whack you into the stand with those shots, or maybe a Hardik Pandya. I mean, you will see these Afghanistan players. They may be taller, but they don't know exactly how. They don't have that particular technique for a 10-20 cricket exactly, because आपको सिर्फ hammer toms नहीं करना. आपको situation ऐसा है कि you have to be very sensible. You have to graft runs. There will be a situation where you have to graft. वो grafting में ये लोग फंसेंगे. वो बीच में जो overs रहते हैं ना, जब आपको निकालना रहता है, आपको boundaries through the gaps निकालना रहता है, तो वहां पर आपको guys like Kuldeep and Chahal will be effective. तो जब graft करने जाएंगे तो वो leading edges आएंगे, graft करने जाएंगे तो आपको slips में catches आएंगे, और उसी में आपका बॉल ऊपर भी टंग जाएगा. So these are the chances, and only these two guys, Kuldeep and Yuzi, can create those opportunities, because You saw Akshar Patel, flat trajectory, Ravindra Jadeja, again flat, but उसका बॉल थोड़ा नीचे आता है तो that will also help. But जब बॉल इतना टर्न नहीं होगा, तो फायदा नहीं ना. And it's T20 cricket at the end of the day. When ICC have their own curators, they won't be making wickets like where the ball is going to turn square. It's going to be flatter. आपने देखा है, the only team that has made 200 runs is Australia. Others have struggled 150, 109, 110. ऐसा हुआ है. But overall यहाँ पर आपको टर्न करा रेव्स होना पड़ेगा आपके पास. तो ये बंदे का रेव्स है. तो आई थिंक यू शुड डू अवे विद द सीमर्स. काम जो था उनका हो गया है. अब स्पिनर्स की बारी और स्पिनर्स को लटकाना. एंड दिस इज हाउ वी कैन विन. These are
Yeah.
going to be our trump cards. These are going to be our trump cards. Batters तो हैं ही हमारे पास. We can play in different situations, but it's the bowlers who are going to win us the World Cup right now.
Absolutely. And, that's where we started off this discussion. I talked about, how these pitches are more spinner friendly. And that's where our discussion began, that how Afghanistan have good spinners. They have got a good purchase in the T20 World Cup 2024 as well. But only time will tell whether Indian spinners will outclass Afghanistan or it'll be the other way around. But Jamie, right now we have a few questions for you and for Taos as well. So we'll take a few questions and then we'll wrap this up. So let's have the first question, please. Okay, as Cannon saying, the direction of wind during the day could play a role, considering that the stadium is close to the seashore. Whether that will play a big role or not, Jane.
Absolutely, I think we saw this also in the last couple games. England were playing Namibia in that last match, and they had the two spinners, Ekanam Erasmus and Kutsia, I think the other one was. They were trying to force Johnny Bairstow to repeatedly swing the ball in that
Yeah.
direction. A couple shots worked out. A couple were very nearly caught by guys in the deep. So of course it'll play a big role. And again, like we're discussing, the time is gone to have four pacers. If you need a fourth pacer, you can always call on Dubey for 1-2 overs. You don't need 4-4-4 overs now. Abhi aapko chahiye. Look, it's common sense. The conditions, the breeze, the outfield, whatever you want to say, you need to bring in the bowlers जो इस सब का
Yeah.
फायदा उठा सके. And they're sitting there. Their names are Kuldeep Yadav and Chahal, and unfortunately they've been wearing yellow bibs and flashy goggles carrying drinks. I understand why. The conditions in New York didn't require these two bowlers, but bhai abhi मामला change हो चुका है. Very different conditions, slightly bigger grounds, better outfields. You're going to have to play the bowlers who can outfox. So I keep
Yeah.
saying World Cups are won here. So definitely I agree with SK Anand, and to bring all this into play, bring on the wrist spinners.
Well, let's just hope so that Team India do a lot of thinking and then they bring up such kind of changes in their 11 for the Super 8 matches. Next question, please. People don't have problem with Dubey. The real problem is that रिंकू ने इतनी बार इतना हाई सेट कर दिया है, अब हर एक फेलियर दुबे को जज किया जाएगा. आई अग्री बिकॉज ये तो बार बार होगा. जितनी बार दुबे नहीं परफॉर्म करेंगे, एंड फॉर दैट मैटर अगर कोई और बैटर भी नहीं परफॉर्म करेंगे, वो बार बार उसी पॉइंट पर डिस्कशन होगा कि इससे बेटर तो रिंकू सिंह को ले लिया होता. बट द फैक्ट ऑफ द मैटर इज दैट दिस इज द स्क्वाड दैट टीम इंडिया हैज. दे विल बी प्लेइंग विद ऑल द प्लेयर्स unless until there is some injury or there is any such kind of a situation where they'll have to bring in Rinku Singh. But for now, all the players you have in the squad, you have good players in the 11 also. And as Jamie said, आपको spinners को लाना होगा. वही change आप कर सकते हो इस 11 में. बाकी फिलहाल तो कुछ नहीं दिख रहा है. Only time will tell what Team India will be thinking. Next up, in T20 cricket, you don't need 50s, 100s to win matches. For victories, you need impactful knocks. And how those impactful knocks can be helpful. We've seen, certain impactful knocks that helped other teams in the group stage to qualify for the Super 8. So, how important are these impactful knocks in such kind of
Absolutely.
World
He's
Cups?
right. Ravi Shankar is right, exactly. You don't need 50s and 20 or 100s, but then they make a difference, huge difference. I mean, individual scores. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a game for team game made for individuals, right? बट देन या इम्पैक्टफुल नॉक्स कब होते हैं जब आपको जरूरत रहती है, लाइक लास्ट फ्यू में आपको 60 रन चाहिए, उसमें से 30-40 रन जो इम्पैक्ट क्रिएट करेगा, बना के जिताएगा मैच, वही आई मीन। अदरवाइज सी इट्स इंपॉर्टेंट, इट्स अबाउट लाइक कैरिंग ऑन। तो नहीं हो सकता यार आप जैसे 50 ओवर क्रिकेट में आप शुरुआत से लेकर बैट एंड तक करें और कैरी ऑन करें, ऐसा नहीं हो सकता। ऑब्वियसली एवरीबडी हैज अ रोल। सी द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट इन T20 क्रिकेट इज एवरी इंडिविजुअल हैज अ रोल। आपको विराट और रोहित को एक पर्टिकुलर रोल के लिए दिया है, 6 ओवर में आपको शुरुआत करनी, नहीं तो यशस्वी को लेते। नंबर 3 पे ऋषभ पंत, अब वो गेयर कैसे चेंज करना है, बदलना है, अगर विकेट जल्दी गई तो वैसा आपको ऋषभ पंत ने दिखाया एग्जैक्टली यूएस में कैसे करना चाहिए बैटिंग। सूर्या, आई मीन ही केम आउट विद दैट नॉक इन अगेंस्ट यूएसए। You talk about Shivam Dubey, he was taken for a certain role. Again, we have been talking about it for a long time. Ki bhai, he's been picked over Rinku Singh because this guy can play spinners well and he can get those maximum runs which is needed in those middle overs, right? And then you have a Hardik Pandya and Akshar Patel who can do their job finishing, give finishing touches. So everybody, every individual has a role. Here, T20 cricket, mein, you won't see a lot of people celebrating 50 runs every time. You Virat Kohli, I mean, he gets a 50. If he doesn't, if he does misses a, if he fails to cross the line, he doesn't celebrate those 50s, right? So वो impact करता है half centuries, but it's more about run scoring. It's like I'm winning the matches, and I agree with Ravi Shankar exactly whatever he said. Impact चाहे वो 50, 100 या 30 या 10 रन भी हो, वो impact जीत गया, जिता दिया टीम को, तो उससे बड़ा कुछ नहीं हो सकता। इम्पैक्ट तो जीरो रख के भी हो सकता है, आपको स्टैंड देकर भी हो सकता है यार। नॉन स्ट्राइकर एंड पे आप कितना वो करो तो वो भी इम्पैक्टफुल होता है। आई थिंक यू आर ऑन
Mute,
म्यूट।
mute, mute.
Oh, so sorry. So yeah, I was saying that if we talk about the impactful knocks, right? I think one match that comes to my mind is that of Australia and Scotland. At one position in that match, I felt that who'll score runs, but Australian batters, all of them came in, they played their part, and they came up with those scores, and then they were able to beat Scotland. But for that, I will have to give a lot of credit to Scotland as well. Scotland played brilliantly well in this T20 World Cup, and only time will tell where they'll go forward in the cricket world, especially in the T20 cricket format. And on those lines, I think the way Sri Lanka played in their last group stage match, Sri Lanka, Vanindu Hasaranga, everybody came in. Matthews, they all came in with those little impactful knocks, and that's how they won their last group stage match, which was very much needed for them to at least go back to their hometowns with some sort of like pride, so to say, or some sort of confidence of playing cricket. Because other than that, they were very disappointing and disastrous in the entire T20 World Cup. So I completely agree with House, the way you mentioned, how impactful knocks are needed, especially in this shortest format of the game. Can we have the next question, please? That Bangladeshi leg spinner has got some real talent, Rashad Hussain. Jamie, how do you see Bangladeshi bowlers? As he mentioned, the leg spinner has got real talent. Do you see they can also pose big threat to Team India?
Look, exactly. Look, Bangladesh have always had decent bowlers, but they've never had. It's always been left arm wrist spinners, and now they finally. It's like they. It's almost like they don't have faith in wrist spin. Now they've got someone. I hope the guy plays for a long time. I hope usko bure waqt mein bhi support kiya jaye, back kiya jaye, because every team, the most successful teams, have always had, excuse me, some kind of a quality wrist spinner. He's been very good, but it's that Tanzid Hassan Shakib. He's come along.
Yeah.
When Mustafizur came in 2015, he was fantastic. But अब जब वो fade away हुए तो वो support नहीं आया. The scheme is still around, but the way that guy is now improving, look, their batting. I know what they barely crossed 100 against Nepal. Nepal को 14 पे 30 रन चाहिए थे, 5 विकेट थे. Nepal should have finished that match, off the second last ball. That they didn't. It's because Bangladesh now are finding 5 bowlers जो के काम कर पा रहे हैं. They lost to South Africa by 4 runs. The bowler did the job. I think they beat Sri Lanka by 2 wickets. So Bangladesh की batting बहुत खराब है. उनके कप्तान नहीं चल रहे, शाकिब नहीं चल रहे. But how is this team in the second round? I would say 90% credit goes to the bowlers. So it's a very, very good bowling team. But despite the bowling gains, I don't see them going further because they're batting like most times. It's just not reliable. I say 90% bowlers. The other 10% I go to Najmul Hussain Shanto, the captain. The guy's captaincy has been brilliant. उसके पास भी 5 रन से ज्यादा नहीं होंगे, but he's captaining very well. It's because Mustafizur is bowling brilliantly. It's because Rishad Hussain has come in. Tanzim Hussain bowled 21 dot balls against Nepal. Like Tauspai said 10 minutes ago, it's the bowlers who win you tournaments. Bangladesh have the bowling attack to win this tournament, but unfortunately, like Pakistan, their batting is so far behind. I don't see them. I don't see them posing a threat. They'll lose to Afghanistan as well.
And the problem, I
You're
think,
right.
the problem here is they go into the tournament very, with lack of confidence. They don't have confidence in their own ability.
Yes.
Right.
The
Yeah, yeah,
batting, see, they've always had some kind of talent, but वो confidence जो होता है, जो spirit होती है, वो कहीं नहीं दिखती है. Shakib, despite being there for a long time, he should have infused some kind of faith in their own abilities. वो bowling में दिख जाती है, batting में नहीं दिखती. Again, if they start targeting like 160, 180, आप score करो, कैसे भी मरी हालत में 180, 160 करो, at least तो वो bowlers हैं उनके पास कि वो defend कर लेंगे. अब जब आप 120, 130 करोगे तो ये bowlers क्या कर पाएंगे? So it's the lack of confidence, I believe, that they have suffered. One of the reasons they haven't got those batsmen that they needed.
सी ताउस 106 रन बनाकर भी अगर आप मैच जीत रहे हैं और अगर आप सुपर 8 में जा रहे हैं, विच मींस कि आपके बॉलर्स ने बहुत ही आउट ऑफ द वर्ल्ड परफॉर्मेंस दी है और उस वजह से आप सुपर 8 में पहुंचे हैं. अदरवाइज 106 कोई और टीम होती, नेपाल की जगह कोई और भी टीम ले लो आप होती, 106 तो कभी भी ऐसा स्कोर नहीं था जिससे आप जीत जाते. आप कह सकते हो कि उस दिन लक था उनके साइड पे, क्योंकि नेपाल ने तो साउथ अफ्रीका को खड़े कर दिया था उससे पिछले वाले मैच.
I don't think it's luck. Luck would have been any other day. It's because of Rishad Hussain and a much larger extent that Tanzid Hassan Sakib. Hope I'm saying his name right. When you take 4 wickets in your first 4 overs, 21 dot balls, mushkil bahut hai, Had he taken 1 wicket, 2 wickets, it's just the fact that again, I wish him well. I wish the team well. They've often had bowlers, but then 5 match के बाद वो गायब. अगर ये तंजीद हसन साकिब, अगर ये बंदा फिट रहे ना 7-8 साल तक और रिशाद हुसैन को ये बैक करे, they'll win a lot more matches than usual because you need bowlers, and finally they're getting good bowlers. But I agree with Tausbai. They're somehow, I don't know, they didn't have confidence. They're like Pakistan's younger brother, always fighting. कुछ ना कुछ राडा रहता है, कुछ controversy रहता है, and they just don't seem to progress. They've gone back to Chandrika Hathura Singh yaar. Aage badho. So it's like they're stuck in a time warp, which is sad. I said it a couple shows ago. I would much rather like to see, rather than calling, I don't want to sound like some big brother syndrome, rather than calling Oman who don't make 50, rather than calling PNG who don't make 50, let's find a way to make Bangladesh a better team. Let's find a way to get Zimbabwe. Let's fix the more long-serving traditional teams. Then let's try and make cricket a global sport. Because Bangladesh have been playing tests and one days for far too long to still be so average at it.
Yeah. And it's actually heartbreaking, Jamie, to not see a team like Zimbabwe in the T20 World Cup. Because if you see, the bilateral series that they play in, they perform really well. And Zimbabwe have done well under Raza's captaincy. And there are other players also. But all these players, they just get lost somewhere, and then they don't get a chance to be in such big tournaments. That's also another reason that they aren't able to groom themselves, they aren't able to test themselves on such bigger platforms. So we'll keep that for a discussion for some other day. Right now, let's talk about Team India and Afghanistan, and with that we have one last question for you both, so we'll take that question. Rohit and Virat punt sky, but where is fifth specialist batter? How can you win World Cup without your fifth specialist batter? So, does this team need a fifth specialist batter or not, Chief?
No, they do. But like we're all discussing, your 6 specialist batsmen, you've not put him in the 15. So there's absolutely no point talking about that. Now that they've chosen Dubey over Rinku Singh, we just have to hope that Shivam Dubey does the job. When you have chosen, I want to comment on that Dougal Saab comment about how he set the bar. No, I disagree. Had he set the bar, he wouldn't have been dropped. When you are still disposable, no, that means that despite your best efforts, you've not cracked that ceiling. Why did Yuvraj Singh not play more than some 25 test matches? Because he could not still get into a batting order of Sehwag and Dravid, Lakshman. You have to be that good. Rinku Singh agar yahan nahi hai, it's because despite outstanding numbers, he's not been able to influence the men that count. So the point is, you still don't have a finisher. Hardik Pandya finisher आपके नहीं है, Dubey आपके finisher. लेकिन when your fifth batsman is not even in the spot of 15, there's no point even talking about him. Your fifth batsman is Shivam Dubey. He's picked for a certain reason. He's not delivered, but also he's not delivered in the conditions he was picked for. It's like when Fleming said during COVID, we built our Chennai CSK squad of 2020 around 8 matches at Chepauk. अब चेपॉक में हुआ नहीं, वो कोविड के कारण वो मैच शिफ्ट हो गया अबू धाबी. आई एम यूजिंग द सेम एनालॉजी. आई एम नॉट अ ह्यूज फैन ऑफ दुबे, बट ही वाज पिक्ड फॉर द वेस्ट इंडीज. अब वेस्ट इंडीज में वो नहीं चले. आई बिलीव we'll see a far more prolific Dubey in the West Indies, because that's a ground where, like Puran does, you put your foot forward, you swing the bat, and chances are wo wahan pe jayega. I get the emotion that Real Facts is bringing, but the point is, it's a very outdated question. This question we all answered before a ball was bowled in this World Cup. Your fifth batsman was supposed to be Rinku Singh. For whatever reason, he was not able to impress the selectors or Rohit or Dravid to select him. अब जब वो नहीं हो पाए, उसके बाद तो we've talked about this for 2 months now. It's all rotating. चाहे हार्दिक हो या जडेजा हो या दुबे हो, हम सबको इस बात को एक्सेप्ट करना पड़ेगा कि नहीं है, and just back the team. And I think that's what we're seeing.
That's right. अब वही चीज है, हमने ये चीज शायद बहुत बार बोली भी है और आगे भी कहेंगे, बिकॉज आई एम प्रीटी श्योर ऐसे क्वेश्चंस आएंगे. अब जो टीम है वो है, जो 11 आप रखना चाहते हैं उसमें आप 1-2 चेंजेस कर सकते हैं. यू कांट चेंज द 11 इंटायरली. आपको पता है रोहित कोहली होंगे तो वो होंगे, और आपको पता है कि आपके बॉलर्स होंगे तो होंगे उसमें. जेमी हैज टू से समथिंग अबाउट.
नहीं, आई एम सेइंग exactly just to add this, अभी बैट्समैन पे उंगली उठाने का समय गया है. We can talk about Kohli, but these आपका टॉप 6 वो ड्रॉप नहीं होगा. सैमसन मैच नहीं खेलेगा, रिंकू सिंह रिजर्व पूल से नहीं आएगा. अब जो भी चेंजेस हैं वो आपके पेसर्स और स्पिनर्स के बीच होगा. That's it. Batsmen or not, they might be shuffled. Kohli flops tomorrow. Kohli might come at 3. I don't see poor Jasprit getting a game. इन्हीं 6 बैट्समैन को वो यहाँ से वो शफल करेंगे. You might see Pant open. जो भी चेंजेस होंगे, बदलाव होंगे, Toss will say it again, it will be in the bowling, not the batting.
True. Well, I think.
But I don't understand what is fifth specialist batsman. यहाँ पर 20 over का game है. It's not a 50 over game where you have a specialist guy, somebody, a strong middle order who can will come and save those early blushes. Yeah.
I think he means, where is your someone else जिसका नाम दुबे नहीं? I think that's what it means.
Every individual has a different style of playing. T20 cricket ही है. Number 3 पे, number 4 पे सूर्या अलग स्टाइल है. शिवम दुबे for a role. हार्दिक finisher, जडेजा अक्सर. So every individual is different. That particular specialist चाहिए नहीं हमको.
Also, Tosba, like we all discussed, we all wanted to see Rohit, Jaiswal, Virat, Sky, Pant. So actually आपका जो number 5 था वो actually सूर्या होता. लेकिन जब आपने जायसवाल को, and again I'm totally against, आपने जायसवाल जैसे लड़के को बाहर किया, आपने पूरा इस वर्ल्ड कप के लिए अपना 11 रीशफल किया, तो by default वो 5th specialist batter जो कि Sky है वो बाहर हो गया. Sky now become, he's gone because now Sky is batting at 4-5, right? Because they've gone with Pant at 3. So the traditional, this same question would have made more sense before June 9th when India played Pakistan. क्योंकि उस दिन हमको मालूम पड़ा कि भाई नहीं, रोहित ने कहा था उस दिन न्यूयॉर्क में, मुझसे कहा था, when I asked him, ओपनर्स ड्रॉप नहीं होंगे और हम पंत को बैक करेंगे पूरे वर्ल्ड कप में. So it's a very un-Indian top 3. Virat Kohli opening for a whole World Cup, Pant batting at 3 whole cup. That's very un-Indian, right? एक्चुअली जायसवाल को ओपनिंग होना चाहिए था, कोहली को 3 पे और फिर पंत को नंबर 5 पे, पर आपने पूरा रंग ही बदल दिया इस कैनवस का. We have no option but now, so you know what guys, it's working for you, all the best, we back you.
वेल वही चीज आ जाती है बार बार कि अब आपके पास स्क्वाड है, अब आपको 11 बनाना है. 11 बन चुका है, हमने देखा यूएस लेग में किस तरीके के प्लेयर्स 11 में थे. अब आप वहां पर 2-4 चेंजेस कर सकते हैं कंडीशंस के हिसाब से, और वो चेंजेस जेमी और ताउस ने आपको इस लाइव में ऑलरेडी बता दिए हैं. वेल ऑल इन ऑल आई कैन जस्ट से दैट यू जस्ट stay prepared for the Super 8 stage now. Today is the start of the Super 8 stage of the T20 World Cup 2024. It's going to be the United States of America versus South Africa today in the first match of the Super 8s. First up, Taus, you tell me whether it's going to be USA or it's going to be South Africa. कौन जीत रहा है आज सुपर 8 में? ये तो वो ग्रुप है जिसको ग्रुप ऑफ डेथ कहा जा रहा है सुपर 8 में. यूएस है वहां पर, साउथ अफ्रीका है, इंग्लैंड है, वेस्ट इंडीज है. काफी टफ है, लेकिन आर यू थिंकिंग कि एक और अपसेट देखने को अभी आज ही मिल सकता है?
See, एक ये होता है कि यार एक फेज होता है. I hope USA haven't passed that phase, you know, the good phase. क्योंकि I mean it's South Africa at the end of the day. They are not that bad. Yeah, they are choking fine. Yeah, but they are still a very good side. I mean, I still have faith because I mean, and also you're playing in West Indies. You know, you're playing in a different condition. There you were high on your, you know, playing with the crowd was backing you. Here you won't have enough people unless people have gone there from US to West Indies. It's going to be tough for USA, I believe.
Okay, Jamie, what about you?
Again, the choker's word has already been used off the bat, tossed by middle, that one, no point going there. But again, look at 3 of South Africa's wins. They beat Nepal by one run. Okay. They beat Bangladesh by 4 runs. Kaide say this team it doesn't deserve to be there. But like always, somehow, they've just managed to do enough to get there. Do they look like, forget semi-finalists, do they look like a Super 8 team? No. But again, those are all matches played in Dallas and New York. When South Africa come to West Indies, half their players have played in CPL. अगर ये हल्का सा बैटिंग फ्रेंडली ट्रैक हुआ ना, तो जो रीजा हेंड्रिक्स और डिकॉक वहां पे मर के खेल रहे थे, वो आपको पावर प्ले में 70 रन देंगे. So that is where South Africa's strength lies. Their bowling, they've always had the best bowling attack. Where the bowlers are not choker. The chokers come because the batting. Look at that match. They were chasing 113 against Netherlands. The same Netherlands जो पिछले 2 World Cup में इनको हरा के आई है. They were 12 for 4. ठीक है. हम लोग बाबर आजम का पीसी के लिए वेट कर रहे हैं. हम लोग सब कह रहे हैं, पाकिस्तान वाले कह रहे हैं, हो सके बाबर लेट आए तो अच्छा है, because we were all watching on one journalist laptop 3 for 3 and 12 for 4. So if USA, if Netrewalkar, Ali Khan, all those guys, if they can put South Africa at 12 for 4, na, I'm not going to rule out a USA win. But I just feel like because South Africa, like India, will be so relieved कि हम न्यूयॉर्क में नहीं खेल रहे, 50% कॉन्फिडेंस वहीं से आएगा. भाई यहाँ पिच अच्छी होगी, and that is where South Africa are my favorites. But again, because this is a team which is, I mean, they beat Nepal by 1 run. In my mind, that's a win to Nepal. If USA can do it, I would say 60% South Africa favorites and 40%. Had South Africa not lost, it would have been 90-10. But all said and done, इस टीम ने कनाडा को हराया, इस टीम ने पाकिस्तान को हराया, तो कहीं ना कहीं ये लोग हक से आए हैं यहाँ. It's going to be a good match. Cricket will be the winner.
And the real test for Saurav Netrewalkar starts here. वहाँ तो helpful conditions थे, यहाँ पर बिल्कुल something very difficult.
बिल्कुल.
Yeah, but credit goes to US players. They had a lot of courage. They did really well in the group stage, and they've earned this position in the Super 8. They performed really well. But I completely agree with Taos. The real test begins now. It's gonna be US versus South Africa today in the first match of the Super 8s of the T20 World Cup 2024. Now, which team do you think will win this match? Do let us know in the comment section. Until then, you keep watching Cricket Next. Thank you so much, Jamie and Taos, for joining with me. We'll see you soon with all other videos, informations, and match analysis. Thanks a lot.
Fastest cricket score updates या सबसे detailed stats
क्रिकेट के अंदर बाहर की खबरें
या healthy debates.
सबसे सबसे एक्यूरेट एनालिसिस
या फैंस का क्रेज, सबके लिए एक ही प्लेटफॉर्म, क्योंकि क्रिकेट मतलब क्रिकेट नेक्स्ट।